All right, now we're going to talk about bringing a good dynamic to the club.
Absolutely, guys. When you go to the club or to the bar, it's really important to bring in the dynamic that you're there to have fun with your friends, and that's why you're there.
Yep, you want to make sure that you're facing your friends and that you're talking to them. You're not scanning the bar.
Definitely. You want to have the feeling that the party is where you're at. You guys are there, you're entertaining yourselves, you're not looking for outside stimuli.
You want to make sure that the stimuli is inside of your group. You don't want to sit there watching, not smiling, not having a good time. You want the people to be coming to you.
Definitely, because you guys, essentially what's going on in the bars and the clubs is there's two type of people. There's the type of people who are observing, sitting there, watching with a blank look on their face, basically scared. And then there's the other people who are laughing it up, having a good time. It's basically the observed and the observing. Those are the two types of people. So basically, what we want you guys to do is to be the observed.
Yep. The technique that Clutch and I use is to look over each other's shoulder. And you're basically going to observe the whole bar while it looks like you're talking to your friend. Okay, so
Yeah.
I'm going to be spotting the potential openers or the potential sets that we're going to open. I'm going to spot out girls that I want to ask for, get the number at the end of the night, and this way it appears that you're not scanning.
Yeah, definitely. We're basically looking over each other's shoulders and we're explaining to each other, okay, there's a set of sevens over here. Maybe we can go open them first because there's a set of eights next to them, and over there's the 10 to which we want to gain social value throughout the club. And while we're talking to each other, it looks like we're just chopping it up. Because honestly, guys, sometimes you have to act. I mean, this is one of my best friends. I spend every day with the guy. It's like when we go to the club, we don't always have so much to talk about. So sometimes we have to kind of act a little bit. We have to really get the energy going, get the flow going, so that we're having a good time. One of the things that this guy and I do is when we drive to the club, we don't talk. We just listen to music, kind of chill out. We wait. Anything we have to talk about, business, girls, whatever it may be, we wait to talk about it at the club so that when we're not talking to girls, we're talking to each other and we're engaging each other and we're engaging our other friends and we're all chopping it up. That's a really good dynamic you guys want to have.
First time you guys go to a club, especially one of those extremely noisy ones where you can't hear yourself think, it's very intimidating, all right? You just want to make sure, try your best to feel at home. Just try to be as comfortable as possible and remember to smile.
Definitely smile, have a good time. You know, and that's why it's good, guys, to have 4 or 5 typical clubs that you go to. You don't want to have just 1 or 2 because then you kind of become a regular, and that's also not a good thing to do. I suggest 4 or 5 that you go to frequently. We suggest going out in the beginning, sometimes 5 nights a week. You can hit a different club on the night that it's popping off. And what happens is it begins to be like your home. You're sitting there, you're completely comfortable because you're there all the time. And we all know that when you go to a foreign place, this has been tested scientifically, when you go to a place that you've never been before, you automatically feel insecure. You kind of are looking around, and that's not a good dynamic to have in the club. So you want to have some typical clubs that you go to, be a little bit of a regular there, and then you're going to feel a lot at home there, and your body language is going to reflect the right mentality.
All right, so the first thing I always do when I go to a bar or a club, I just go straight to the bar. A lot of times there's always girls sitting up at the bar drinking, so it's a great excuse to kind of walk in a set and you have a perfect reason to be there. It's not like you're trying to impede their space, but you can quickly open it and then get your drinks, move on, and then come back to them later. I always order virgin drinks. Most of the time they're free. Even if they're free, you guys make sure you tip your bartender. They have the highest value there in the bar. So if you can be friends with them, that's the best possible, one of the best possible friends you could have.
Definitely, definitely. You want to be friendly with the bartender, and initially, especially when you're first meeting a bartender, you want to lay a fat tip on the guy. I mean, I personally drink waters, but I still tip him well so that when I'm ready for another water, he'll be right there to get it for me. Like Fly was saying, the bartender is really the highest value in the club. So if you floss up to the bar and you're like, hey, and he like ignores everybody else and comes to you because you're a good tipper, then that's going to look like you and him are boys. Girls are going to want to get to know you. It just says all the right things about you. So don't be stingy. Drop the tips. I personally advocate tipping well in all areas of life because I believe it comes back to you. But in this situation particularly, you want to drop a good tip on the bartender. Be friends with him. Be cool with him. Ask how his night's going. and just, you know, make friends with people who work in the club. It's very important.
Yep, and since the club is a loud environment and you're going to have to be talking to people like straight to their face, it's a must that you guys have some gum. Especially if you had dinner an hour before you went to the club, just carry gum with you at all times. Women will always ask for it, especially if you're chewing it. That's actually a good opener.
Actually, it's a great opener, and we're going to get into that. Want some gum? Bam, open, simple.
Okay, so that we just covered basically when you're not talking to girls, when you're talking to your guy friends. So now we're going to get into the way to act when you're actually going to go out and talk to the girls.
Definitely, because guys, why are we going out to the clubs? I mean, I know this dude. Do I really need to go to a club to hang out with my boy? Not really. I'm there to meet girls. I mean, yeah, the music's cool. Clubs are fun sometimes. I see my other friends there. But really, let's be honest, we're there to meet girls. So the first thing I do personally when I get into a club, if I'm intending to have a really good night and get a lot of phone numbers, is I will open the first set I see. Right in the door, bam, first girl I see, I'll go open her. Even if she's like a 7, I'll probably open her. Hopefully it won't be. I'll see an 8 over there. I'll probably go over there before I go to the 6. But you hear what I'm saying. You want to shoot straight in, open the first girl you see. What that does is basically it's similar to jumping into a cold river. If you stand next to the river and wait, it gets worse and it actually gets harder. You just walk up and jump right in with not thinking about it, with being out of your head, then you're going to have way more chances of actually doing it. So I go straight in, open the set. Even if it goes bad, no worries at all. Sometimes it takes a couple sets to get warmed up, but usually it goes well, and what happens is I get my flow going. Bam, that set goes good. I go to the next one. I go to the next one. Then me and him will maybe get a drink, talk shop, see what's going on, look over each other's shoulder. But you really want to get your flow going immediately when you get in there. Just start talking to girls because, again, guys, that's why you're there. So just start immediately.
That's true. It's kind of like going off the high dive at the pool. You know, when you first time going up to that high dive, it's really intimidating. You're like, you kind of psych yourself out. If you stand up on that high dive for more than 5 seconds, you're not going to go. You know, you just kind of talk yourself out of it in your mind. Same way when you walk into a club.
You start talking yourself out of it.
Exactly. Yep, exactly. So that's why we would encourage you guys right when you go in, even if it's a girl at the bar and you have to do it while you're ordering drinks. I mean, that's the way I do it. Just make sure you put yourself up in a set.
Definitely.
Right away.
Definitely.
Hey, this is Mark saying from Alpha Symposium. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And once you've done that, please click the link below for your free seminar where I give away tons of secrets you won't find in my YouTube videos. All right, thanks for watching. Talk to you soon.